how they approach and arrive and get transported over to the mansion. This area here in the front is the existing plaza that we removed, and it'll become a green space across from Graceland, so it's a nice landscaped outdoor environment there. And we're setting the new complex back where the apartments used to be. Here's the parking lot, existing parking lot we're improving, putting islands and trees in it. And the new entrance will then come from that parking lot into a central building, which is the orientation and ticketing hub. And then you will be able to exit out under a canopy and be picked up by the shuttle. It comes around, it can visit the planes and go across and then return. So this is a private shuttle drive for transporting the guests back and forth. Around all of that will be a whole new set of experiences. We're expanding the restaurant and food and beverage opportunities. The retail will be along the way, all around, scattered along the path. And then we've got three kind of corner magnets, one being an expanded car museum that you're sitting in today. Be larger, better, of course. And then we're having a new Elvis exhibit experience that can be developed here in this corner. And then this can be a flexible exhibit space, changeable exhibits, as show movies, all of that sort of thing. Then in between, we've got 6 what we are calling discovery spaces, and they are yet to be developed, but could become, visitor experiences within themselves. And then behind that, we've got some support, warehouse support areas, and then some entrances along Craft Road that get back here for employee parking, and then some future expansion opportunities as well.
I mean, this is really basically the reason people come here from 170 countries a year, from every corner of the earth, hundreds of thousands of them. That house up on the hill, Graceland, and it's and that's never going to change. That's the reason. That's the heart and soul of this whole thing. And we have, slowly but surely, and those of you who remember 1982 when we opened Graceland, basically our whole operation was a little like a complex of little temporary buildings here, and this was I just remember it as an incredibly ugly strip shopping mall that had become incredibly ugly, and the Sneed brothers had built it in the 50s, and it was, and once upon a time it had a restaurant called Beef and Liberty that was excellent. But as time went by, and particularly after Elvis died, it just became a little tourist trap with little stores. And we did, we were able to purchase that property. It took a couple of years to wind down the leases. And we did the best we could. We planted grass and trees. And those of you who we've met over the years, believe it or not, we love grass and trees, and every chance we get to add more grass and trees, we're going to. And that's kind of the point behind, we're really taking our existing visitor complex, that welcomes people, we sell tickets, we conduct the tour, we've got retail shops, a couple of restaurants, an ice cream shop, car museum, but basically, this is the only building, as a matter of fact, this is the only building on our entire campus that we built for the reason we use it. And that was built, by us. Everything else is, and those of you'd have to be around a long time ago, that we've just repurposed. Old shoe stores and everything else down this plaza. And this is our opportunity to take what we've welcomed and served 19 million visitors with and do something better, newer, better. As Gary Hahn was saying earlier, Graceland this year was voted in a poll by USA Today the greatest music-based tourist attraction in the world, which is, we were kind of amazed. But the fact is, we want to invest and improve to live up to that amazing reputation, and this represents that. You know, the parking will stay the same, but it's kind of, if you can picture, as we add, here's the first and foremost, the most important thing. We're going to move an awful lot of what's presented in the trophy building and the racquetball building on the Graceland tour, which, if you think about it, we just kind of shoehorn the entire story of Elvis the Entertainer into what was a rec room and a racquetball court. But we're going to do all of that justice, the gold records, the jumpsuits, the guitars, the awards, all the things related to his amazing, iconic career. Those are going to become an anchor over here. So now that we'll have how Elvis and where Elvis lived, how Elvis and why Elvis is the greatest entertainer ever. Along the way, there's the airplanes, and then the hotel will add a great kind of an opportunity to draw groups and house more visitors, etc. So that's kind of it. Your questions might be, what about Heartbreak Hotel? Basically, in the late fall of 2016, when the hotel opens, very shortly thereafter, we're going to tear Heartbreak Hotel down. And it is, it was very poorly built. Loved Kemmons Wilson. Memphis is so lucky to have been the home of famous Kemmons Wilson. But when he built that hotel, he was trying to relive the magic and see how inexpensively he could build a hotel. And it's not what our visitors from all over the world expect. This is going to be what they expect and more. And and we're excited about that. But this will come down. That will become additional parking. This, as you know, is the RV park. For right now, there's just, in essence, the plan to leave it, improve it, landscape it. All this green space is going to stay there for anybody who happens to back onto that property.